Hey guys, welcome back to Italian Cinema Night here on the Bad Movie Night channel. It has been a while, but we are back.
Back at it, AJ.
We brought you a classic, no less.
Ooh, man. This is the third maybe Mario Bava movie we covered?
Yeah, I think it's the second. It's actually considered one of his classics.
Dr. Esway, the facts you're looking for can only be found at Villa Grabs. I'm sure the inspector's here.
Get out of my sight or you'll be sorry.
It's like running headlong into a wall of silence. They're suspicious, distrustful, and the way they react to my questions.
I had not seen it before. I know you have seen it before, and we're a pretty big fan, and you said we should do this movie. So I went into it with pretty high expectations because you said it was a really, really solid movie. And I think you might be right there, buddy. I think you might be right. So what's it about, though?
Kill Baby Kill takes place, it's in Italy. It's like a Gothic horror movie. It's about a doctor who's traveling to a town to assist the villagers. And there's some mysterious symptoms going on where a lot of young women are dying, and he's trying to get to the plot.
Yeah, there's this ghostly figure of like a 7-year-old girl who seems to be haunting this particular area. And it's like this isolated town that thrives on superstition, which I thought was a pretty interesting aspect. Obviously, that storyline's been played up before. You have your science versus, mysticism, superstition kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's sprinkled throughout this movie. But I don't generally come to a Mario Bava movie for the plot.
Exactly.
What I come to it for, and I assume you too as well, is the cinematography and the lighting, just the visuals overall.
Yeah, exactly. The really cool thing about this movie is just like the atmosphere and tone he's able to set for the film. It's just like remarkable. And again, like you said, we come for the visuals, and they are amazing in this movie.
Yeah, so like every shot, I just look at it and I'm thinking like, how many fucking lights do they have? How long did it take to set this up? Because it's just like perfectly like blocked with its lighting and its architecture, and it's just the framing is so good. We said this before, like a lot of his movies, they're just like fucking paintings come to life. But it's also like features really cool, interesting camera work, camera movement through these like set pieces. It's just really impressive to watch.
Do you want me to blow your mind with some facts?
Blow it a fuck away, AJ.
All right, here are a couple facts for you. The original script was only 30 pages long.
That makes sense, actually.
The movie was shot in only 12 days.
What?
12 days they shot the entire movie.
Holy shit.
A couple days in, they ran out of money, and they had to halt production, and he asked everyone if they would want to finish the movie without being paid, and everyone said yes. And they went away and shot the rest of the movie with no money.
That's impressive, man.
It's pretty crazy.
I can't even imagine like the amount of effort it took. Just thinking like a lot of the shots beyond like the lighting, there's like tons of fog effects running. All these things that need like primed for a single take, and then you have to reset, and it takes so long. It's just a really impressive looking movie.
It's cool. Like prior to this movie, he did 2 movies before, and he was kind of brought in to save the production, so he didn't have like a lot of like creative control. So he was like, when he did this movie, he was really excited to get back in and just have full control of the movie, and it shows through like the visuals.
Yeah, he's definitely like a visual director. The plot takes a back seat in this movie, and that makes sense that the screenplay is only 30 pages long. But it does feel like I can imagine if this movie came out nowadays and it had the modern sheen and just look, and you made an audience watch this, they would just completely pick apart the storyline.
Oh, definitely.
There's a lot of open questions, a lot of characters doing things that don't really make sense. But It also kind of works because there's a lot of like fantastical elements to this movie. where reality is in the background, like things happen that don't make any sense and it could be explained away with, you know, mysticism and superstition, that kind of like paranormal stuff, or it could be explained different ways, but I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. The movie definitely takes you down those avenues. I think it works pretty well for the story and for the topic. A lot of the scenes, like the dialogue scenes, kind of feel like they're like a play, like they're on a set almost. And there's a lot of like that kind of quality going on, but I'm sure a lot of that has to relate to just having 12 days to make the movie. Yeah,
the acting is stiff, and but again, like I didn't really care about that. Like I was waiting for the next cool shot or the next cool, like there was some creepy elements to this movie. Obviously, it's from this 1966, so it's not like scaring me today, but it's still a very effective movie. I kind of think about that, like what if Mario Bava in his prime, like in this movie, was alive today and had the tools that filmmakers have and all this stuff? What would his movies look like? Because
it'd be amazing, like remarkable.
Yeah, it's just like he's one of those people that you can always go back to and know, like the goddamn lighting and framing is just gonna be so like mesmerizing. It's not something you see, and maybe we do and we just take it for granted in like modern cinema, you know what I mean? Because like
it's harder to find. I think like that kind of visual storytelling you might find of like people like Wes Anderson a little bit, or people that have like a camera style, but it is unusual because I think it just takes so much time to set up and prep, like shots and takes and lighting, everything like to this degree is insane.
So going into this movie, though, Kill Baby Kill, to me, sounds like an exploitation movie. Yeah. Which this is not at all. This is a slow burn-ish Gothic movie. It's like Gothic by the numbers, where it's got like, oh, it's the isolated town that's always dripping in fog, and there's like a creepy castle, and the town people are all creepy as well, and blah, 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 there's a ghost. It was
kind of interesting the era that they chose to put in, like with what their clothing was. I was like trying to figure like what time was this? They're taking a horse and carriage there, so there's a lot of like, you know, this was made in the 60s, but there's a lot of elements from like the late 1800s, early 1900s kind of flowing in.
Sure. You know, back to like some of the lighting aspects though, I took note, like a lot of the interior scenes, you had like these really sharp, harsh cutting shadows, which was really cool as well, because characters would step in and out of them. It's just really effective.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
There's a really cool shot at the beginning I really like, when he's coming to town and he sees the guys in the distance carrying the coffin across the horizon line. It's just like beautifully framed.
There's a cool chase sequence that's very disorienting. That was really well done. There's I really like the spiral staircase they feature in this movie, and there's a really cool sequence near the end where it kind of goes down and up, and it's just like,
it's cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, the sequencing's amazing. When he's chasing himself and he catches himself. I read that both the spiral staircase and that chase sequence were in the script originally, so they found those places to like adapt it to.
That's cool. There's that spiderweb sequence as well, where I don't know how they did it, because it's like he goes up against a wall, but then it like transitions him out, but he's still on the spiderweb, and then he's like in front of this house. It's neat. It's a neat effect.
Yeah. I was reading also that he learned a lot of like special effects from his dad, who was also a filmmaker. He did special effects on movies, so a lot of these things he like grew up with and adapted.
Just came natural, I guess, because he was used to seeing it.
Yeah. And this movie just had so many cool elements with the lighting and the sets.
What did you think of the music?
I know for the music was subpar, but I found out later the music was stock. Like he didn't have enough money to hire like a real composer, so they just pulled music from random movies that he had access to.
Gotcha. Yeah, it sounded like Scooby-Doo or something. I don't know. It was like this kind of generic, like.
It's funny you said that. I was watching it with someone else, and they said, "This feels like I'm being pulled into a Scooby-Doo movie." It's like it kind of does, doesn't it?
It really kind of does. Yeah. I kind of can see some like modern influences that this movie probably inspired, like just thinking about like Crimson Peak and stuff like that. The Guillermo del Toro movie feels like there's some influence drawn from this movie, It's really cool. I wish I could do something like this. I'd really love to make something like this.
It's cool because it's a low budget, small cast. I also read he didn't even have access to a crane. He like got a seesaw and used a seesaw for shots and made it work.
Dude, some of the camera work is definitely of its time, but it's still cool. Like there's just scenes where it has a character come in and then they look at something and the camera pans down to what they look at, and then the camera moves over here and it moves up there. It's just stuff you don't normally see in modern movies.
There was that cool scene that I really liked with the camera movement where the swing was going and then the camera
going
was
in.
swinging.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, and there's of course the classic Italian zoom every 3 seconds, which is always a good time for me. But
yeah, it was good. I like the aspects of the superstition and like they try to throw you off with different characters. There's witchcraft involved. They don't know really who's helping who's protecting who.
yeah, it's a good time. It's slow. Wouldn't come into this expecting any mind-blowing storyline or thrilling suspense or anything like that, but it does drip with atmosphere, and especially for its time, it's incredibly impressive. Those sets are so awesome, and it's just like everything comes together so perfectly. I don't know how they did it. It's just awesome.
It's cool. I think most of it was filmed on location, a little town in Italy. And a couple of the interiors they built on a lot for the inside shots.
I wasn't the graveyard to me looked like maybe it was a set, because there was like these it might have been like matte paintings in the background. It was hard to tell, but it looked awesome.
Yeah.
But it did look kind of
like set like.
so kind of like a set like
Yeah.
I don't know. Cool. Kill Baby Kill from Mario Bava. I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you want to see just this really cool visuals from the 60s, but that still hold up amazingly well.
Yeah, I just can't get over it. They did this in 12 days. It's super impressive considering, and they had no money. It's totally just like a passion project, and he just like forced his way through and made it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. So
cool.
Kill Baby Kill. I assume you'd recommend it.
I recommend it.
Yeah. So that's, I think, going to do it for this episode on Kill Baby Kill from 1966, the Mario Bava classic. I don't know what we're watching next time, AJ, but we're going to try and do these a little more regularly.
Yeah, we are. We've been bogged down with making independent movies and other things.
At failing at independent movies.
and other side projects for sure. Yeah, we'll try to do more. I have a bunch already lined up for us, so we'll try to catch up a little bit.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you here next time. See you later.
See ya.